Chitrakar, and these are the headlines of the hour. Post-mortem of individuals killed in yesterday's plane crash continues. Bodies to be handed over to family tomorrow. Difficulty and delay in rescue efforts exhibit the state's extreme apathy towards the civil aviation sector. It has been 6 years since 13-year-old Nirmala Pant was raped and murdered. Every new government assures of identifying the perpetrators. However, justice remains elusive. US President Joe Biden addresses the nation, explaining why he withdrew from the November 5 presidential race, says it is time to pass the torch to a new generation. And Morocco shock World Cup champions Argentina with a 2-1 win in the Paris 2024 Olympic football tournament. Iraq, France, Japan, New Zealand and Spain also victorious. Post-mortem of 18 individuals who were killed in yesterday's unfortunate crash of the aircraft of Shaurya Airlines is underway at the Tribhuvan Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital in Maharajganj. According to the forensic department of the hospital, post-mortems are being carried out by 3 teams. Doctors from Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital, Patan Health Science Academy and Bhaktapur Hospital are involved in carrying out the post-mortems. A doctor informed that it takes at least 4 hours for the post-mortem of a single body. Doctors involved in carrying out the post-mortems said that all the bodies will be handed over to the families and relatives by tomorrow after the conclusion of the post-mortems. 18 people were killed in the Shaurya Airlines plane crash at the Tribhuvan International Airport yesterday morning, right after takeoff. The aircraft was flying to Pokhara, where it was scheduled for repair and maintenance works. Captain of the aircraft, Manish Shakya, was rescued and is undergoing treatment at the Kathmandu Medical College. A total of 19 people were on board the ill-fated aircraft, and all of them were technical staff members of Shaurya Airlines and their family members. 18 people along with co-pilot Sushant Kotwal died in the crash. The national flag across the country is at half-mast today to mourn the deaths. 18 lives were lost yesterday in the Shaurya Airlines plane crash at the Tribhuvan International Airport. Actions failed to be taken promptly to save those individuals, even though the incident took place at the country's first international airport, which is in the federal capital. Although rescue efforts were made by security personnel yesterday, yesterday's unfortunate incident has highlighted the government's negligence regarding the Tribhuvan International Airport. Many have attributed yesterday's plane crash as a result of the authorities' negligence. The aircraft of Shaurya Airlines took off from the Tribhuvan International Airport at 11:11 a.m. for Pokhara. However, the aircraft went down before reaching a height of 100 feet. The rescue team of Nepal Army deployed at the airport and the fire brigades there rushed to the incident site after hearing a loud noise within the airport premises. The aircraft had crashed on a container and the front part along with the cockpit got stuck on the edge, while the tail of the aircraft crashed on the ground. The fire brigade initially doused the fire in the front part of the plane. Security personnel deployed for the rescue said there were 3 individuals, including the pilot, in the cockpit. The main part of the aircraft had begun catching fire by then. However, the fire brigade could not reach that part of the plane. Brigadier General of Nepal Army Rajendra Shrestha said that although rescue teams were deployed, the lives of those on board the ill-fated aircraft could not be saved because the fire brigade could not reach the incident site. Captain Manish Shakya was saved as the part of the aircraft where he did not catch fire. However, the fire brigade could not reach the main part of the aircraft, which was at a distance of 50 meters from where the front part lied. Rescue teams from Nepal Army, Armed Police Force and Nepal Police were immediately deployed. However, the first priority should have been to prevent the fire or to douse it. However, that was not possible due to the ongoing construction works and the congested area of the airport. It may be recalled that a similar horror was witnessed during the US Bangla plane crash in the year 2018. However, 22 lives were saved back then. Nepal Army had suggested to carry out extensive study on workforce and resources for rescue operations during such incidents. Yesterday's incident has been termed an unnatural representation of the government's indifference towards the international airport. The government has formed a 5-member committee led by former Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, Ratish Chandra Lal Suman, to investigate yesterday's crash of the aircraft of Saurya Airlines. Yesterday's meeting of the Council of Ministers held at the office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers formed the committee led by Suman to probe the matter. The 5-member investigation committee has been directed to furnish its report within 45 days after conducting required investigation. The committee has been directed to present its report with recommendations on preventive measures to avoid air crashes in days ahead. The 5-member investigation committee formed by the government includes Captain Dipu Jwarchan from Nepal Airlines, Engineer Sanjay Adhikari from Sri Airlines, Assistant Professor Sudeep Bhattrai from Pulchok Engineering Campus, and Technical Officer Mukesh Dangol from the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation. The ill-fated aircraft of Saurya Airlines was heading to Pokhara for a C-check. C-checks refer to comprehensive inspections and are most extensive maintenance checks that occur every 18 to 24 months. An aircraft C-check is a thorough inspection of an aircraft's systems, components and structures to ensure they are serviceable and functioning properly. The C-check requires the aircraft to be taken out of service for a period of time, typically lasting 1 to 4 weeks. During a C-check, technicians perform detailed examinations of the aircraft's exterior, fluid levels, tires, brakes, avionics systems, flight controls, engines, landing gear, structural components and electrical systems. They also conduct in-depth lubrication of fittings and cables. The goal of a C-check is to ensure that all critical components are in good condition and that any necessary repairs or replacements are carried out. According to aviation experts, aircraft maintenance checks are categorized into different levels, each with its own purpose and scope. These checks are referred to as A, B, C and D checks, representing a progression from basic inspections to comprehensive overhauls. Hangars, large buildings and an extensive floor area are required for such checks. Buddha Air conducts such regular checks at its hangar in Kathmandu, while Saurya Airlines was flying the ill-fated aircraft to Pokhara for the maintenance works, as the entity has its hangar there. According to the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, an aircraft being taken for a C-check did not mean that it was in a poor condition, but that it was being taken for a regular test. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: what should be done to ensure the safety of Nepal's aviation sector? Your options are A, efficient monitoring, B, regular check of aircrafts, and C, improvement in technology and infrastructure. Voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It has been 6 years since 13-year-old Nirmala Pant of Ultakham of Himdatta municipality, Kanchanpur, was raped and murdered. While returning home from her friend Roshni Bum's house on 26 July 2018, 6 years ago, Nirmala was raped while her body was recovered the next morning from the riverbanks in Salaghari. Nirmala's family have spent the past 6 years hoping for justice, while the perpetrators have yet to be identified. Another child, Sunny Khuna, had lost his life during the clash that had erupted, citing the authority had failed to identify the perpetrator.
पीडित परिवारलाई त अब न्याय दिएको छैन। अब आश्वासन त धेरै दिएका छन् न्याय दिउँला भनेर हैन। अब अहिलेसम्म त न्याय दिएको छैन। 6 वर्ष बित्न लागिसक्यो तर न्याय चाहिँ निर्मला बहिनीहरूले पाएको पनि छैन अनि समीक्षाले पनि पाएको छैन नि भनेपछि सरकारले यसमा जोड दिनु पर्यो
The rape and murder of Nirmala Pant has remained a mystery for 6 years. District Police Office Kantipur has said that the case was being investigated from various angles.
Pending रहेको मुद्दा भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि यसमा अनुसन्धान जारी छ र हामीले पनि त्यो फाइललाई चाहिँ नियालिरहेका छौं र यस्ता मुद्दाहरू पेन्डिङ मुद्दाहरू अरु पनि धेरै मुद्दाहरू छन् त्यो मुद्दाहरूको हामीले चाहिँ फलोअप गर्ने काम चाहिँ गरिरहेका छौं
Several governments that had been formed during this period had given assurances of identifying the perpetrators and taking stern actions against them. However, justice has remained elusive. The Parliamentary Hearing Committee was inconclusive about Krishnaman Pradhan recommended for Election Commissioner who is alleged of sexual abuse. Yesterday's Parliamentary Hearing Committee meeting was held after Pradhan was recommended for Election Commissioner by the Constitutional Council. Although the committee called proposed Election Commissioner Pradhan for questioning, it could not decide on whether or not to endorse him. The committee will schedule another meeting to take a decision on Pradhan. He has faced allegations of sexual harassment from colleagues. At the meeting, Pradhan did not provide answers to many questions raised by lawmakers. Parliamentarians even raised question on which moral grounds would Pradhan be appointed the election commissioner. The committee also held closed-door discussions yesterday regarding allegations of sexual harassment against Pradhan. Media persons were asked to leave the meeting room after Pradhan presented his action plan. Meanwhile, the National Human Rights Commission has directed authorities not to appoint officials with controversial characters. Members of the State Affairs Committee of the Parliament have demanded investigation into Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Indira Rana Magar. At yesterday's meeting of the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee, parliamentarians of Nepali Congress and CPN-UML demanded for investigation on Deputy Speaker Rana for recommending non-parliamentarians for their visa procedure to Embassy of the United States of America, which they said was unethical and beyond her jurisdiction. Saying it was related to the prestige of the parliament and a serious issue, the parliamentarians have called for an investigation. A complaint was also filed against the Deputy Speaker at the State Affairs Committee. A correspondence from Deputy Speaker Rana to the Embassy of the United States of America, where she had requested the embassy to arrange visa interview scheduled for 6 individuals, including herself, was recently made public. The government has said that an extensive discussions were needed to implement the agreement on China's Belt and Road Initiatives (BRI). Speaking at the meeting of the Parliamentary Committee on International Relations and Tourism yesterday, Minister for Foreign Affairs Arzu Rana Deobas said that BRI could not be implemented right away. After parliamentarians expressed interest on the implementation of the BRI agreement at yesterday's meeting, Foreign Minister Deobas said extensive discussions were needed to implement the agreement, which was signed in 2017. She said that discussions were needed to be held with the Parliamentary Committee, Parliament and concerned entities regarding the issue. Lawmakers demanded that the government should inform the Parliament about the BRI project and clear doubts that persist. The previous government, led by Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, had made preparations to implement the BRI agreement soon. Dahal had informed the Parliament on 24th of June last month that discussions on BRI implementation were at the final stage and would be implemented soon. Meanwhile, ruling party Nepali Congress has said that the BRI could not be implemented in the form of loan. In a different context, Foreign Minister Deoba informed the meeting that 323 Nepali nationals fighting in the Russia-Ukraine war have turned in applications at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for their rescue. She said that efforts were being made through high-level diplomatic level to repatriate them. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked in several provinces what should be the priority of the new government, in fact the province governments. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
कानुन निर्माण गर्नु पर्यो, नीति बनाउनु पर्यो।
खानेपानी, स्वास्थ्य, शिक्षामा चाहिँ ध्यान दिनुपर्छ।
विकास निर्माणका कामलाई अगाडि बढाउन सकोस्।
सरकारलाई मेडिकल इश्यूजलाई पनि ध्यान राख्नुपर्छ अनि त्यसलाई पनि ठीक गर्नुपर्छ।
प्रदेश सरकारले किसानहरूलाई मलको सुविधा बेलामा उपलब्ध गराइदिनुपर्छ।
डुप्लिकेसनको चाहिँ कामहरू अगाडि त्यस्तो साथ चाहिँ हुँदैन भन्ने चाहिँ पहिलो प्राथमिकता राख्नुपर्छ।
शिक्षा, त्यसपछि रोजगारहरू बेरोजगार हुनुहुन्छ उहाँलाई हेर्नु पर्यो।
शिक्षा स्वास्थ्यतिर चाहिँ राम्रो ध्यान दियो भने राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
पर्यटनलाई पहिलो प्राथमिकता।
गरिब जनताको जीवन स्तर उठाउने खालको योजनाहरू चाहिँ प्रदेश सरकारले अथवा सरकारले ल्याउनु पर्छ।
शिक्षा र टुरिज्म मलाई जहाँसम्म लाग्छ दुईटालाई फोकस गर्यो भने नेपालको प्रगति हुनेछ।
प्रत्यक्ष रूपमा जनताका सरकारहरूलाई समाधान गर्ने हिसाबले प्रदेश सरकारले काम गर्नुपर्छ।
प्रदेश सरकारले चाहिँ अब यहाँ के समस्याहरू छन् त्यो पहिला पहिचान गरेर अनि त्यसको आधारमा चाहिँ नीति निर्माणहरू गर्नु पर्यो।
Time now for international update. US President Joe Biden addressed the nation from the Oval Office of the White House yesterday, explaining why he withdrew from the November 5 presidential race. 81-year-old Biden said that the US was at inflection point and that it was time to pass the torch to a new generation. The Democrat announced his decision to step aside on Sunday after weeks of pressure following a poor debate performance against his 78-year-old Republican rival, Donald Trump. Biden has endorsed his Vice President, Kamala Harris, to become the Democratic Party's presidential nominee. Biden sprinkled his 11-minute speech with references to the danger he believes Americans face if Trump wins the November 5 election without mentioning Trump's name. He said he was departing from the race to help unite the Democratic Party. Meanwhile, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump held his first rally since Biden dropped out and told reporters, in fact supporters, the president quit because he was losing in the polls. Trump dedicated most of his yesterday's rally in Charlotte, North Carolina to attacking Vice President and potential Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris. 78-year-old Trump attacked his new Democratic rival Harris as the ultra-liberal driving force who should be held responsible for the Biden administration's policies on immigration. An explosion at a Jose Cuervo tequila plant in central Mexico yesterday killed at least 6 company people and forced the evacuation of tourists from the area in the spirit's hometown of Tequila. Chief of Emergency Services and Firefighters in Jalisco State, Victor Hugo Roland, said the blast occurred in a 500,000-liter tank at the plant and the resulting fire was put out by company personnel. Drone footage of the explosion's aftermath showed a large metal tank emblazoned with the Cuervo logo collapsed on its side. At least 2 other tanks at the facility operated by the world's largest tequila maker, Bissell, also collapsed. In a statement, the company confirmed the death toll from the accident at its Regina plant, adding that several other workers were injured. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good day.